one of the biggest things I've noticed in the carnivore community is the number of women who not only when they go carnivore, they have significant improvements, but they're also very vocal about that. And it seems like that directly goes against kind of the mainstream genre of, the smiling woman eating a salad. But the female carnivores, nobody's surprised if a man eats a carnivore diet. It's like, yeah, you're a stupid man. You're going to eat meat, of course. But when women say, I eat only fatty meat, that seems to fly in the face of a lot of popular convention. But women get so much benefit from it. What would you say to a woman who's having significant symptoms in their 40s, 50s, 60s? Should they cower to the mainstream narrative that meat is for men, or should they own that as part of their own feminine identity and say, no, I'm going to eat the fatty meat?
Well, it is part of their feminine identity because they need it, but this all started in the 1800s. Women were associated with salads, you could say, vegetable, and meat was sexualized. Eating meat was sexualized. So the Victorians did not want women to, this is with the whole Kellogg thing and this thing. So the idea of, oh my God, women eating meat would make them think carnal thoughts, which actually, besides the fact that obviously it's just silly, that is basically the time that women as in Western society were told and instructed by doctors not to eat meat. Yep. Now, unfortunately, women also get less meat in all societies because of the man has to go out and work. The women are home with 7 kids, building houses and working on the farm, but the men are supposedly doing the heavy lifting. Now, women always, in all societies, get less meat. So I think our society just turned that into, a philosophy. Sorry, it's late. Philosophy to actually just have women get less meat, even though we need it. We need it desperately.
And I actually think that the authorities in the Victorian era, I think they were correct. Not in their advice to women, but I think that when a woman does eat enough fatty meat and have enough fat in her diet to optimize her hormones, I think it does increase her sex drive. I think it does make her think about sex. I think it does probably make her more willing to want to have sex. In the Victorian era, that was frowned upon. Women were supposed to look at sex as a chore, something you did for your husband. Otherwise, you didn't think about it. But I think modern women wouldn't mind having a sex drive, and they wouldn't mind enjoying sex at all ages. And that's a problem for some, authorities. But I don't think that should be a problem. I think women should embrace their sexuality and their sex drive and should enjoy sex. Why is that such a big problem, even today in 2024, for some of the authorities out there?
It all goes back to medicine was basically invented in the 1800s, right? Modern medicine, it was invented in the 1800s. If you think about, absolutely, libido is affected by your hormones. It's all made out of steroid hormones. I hear a lot of women having issues with vaginal dryness, for instance. That's a symptom associated with menopause. It actually is related to cortisol. If you have high cortisol levels, all your mucus is going to go to your limbs to run from danger. So your nasal mucus, your eye mucus, your intestinal mucus, and your vaginal mucus is just going to go away from those tissues. Now, if you're in a high cortisol state, many people are at night because they have imbalanced cortisol, especially if they're eating carbohydrates, they will have vaginal dryness and they will associate it with menopause. And then they'll go on hormone replacement therapy, which all it does is raise their cortisol levels. Scientifically, it just raises their cortisol levels.